All right, tonight I'm going to be working on the broken 4-play brand Sports Center PCB. I bought 2 of these on eBay. The first one I made a video on worked. This one has problems, so let's talk about the problems it has. So there's the screen. Let me get this out of the way. There's the screen, and, well, let me point it up again. So two of the paddles are working, and then these 2 are not. These aren't working correctly. So when I move the controls, one of them moves weird. The top part is right and the bottom part is wrong. And then the other one, I'm turning the knob. It's this one right here. That one doesn't do anything. It's dead. So I think that'll be the first thing I try to fix is the paddles. I can also hear some sounds coming from the speaker, a constant hum. So that's another problem that needs to be fixed. But first, let me see if I can fix the paddle problem. I will be back. Okay, so I've been probing around here, and I think I've kind of figured out which chips are affecting the 2 bad paddles. There are 2 7493s that are used for the paddles. And let's see, this one here is one of them. Can I zoom out or zoom in? 7493 is one of them, and then this one here as well. So these 2 chips seem to be the ones affected. Now when I probe around, the 7493s are really weird chips. Normally where you would see a power, you've got a signal. So this pin 14 is not a power pin, it's an input. So on this one it's just low all the time. That's not necessarily a problem, but on this other one, when I probe it, I get that. That's not going to be good. That's wrong. So I probed around and I found that there's a 7400. This chip right here is generating that bad signal. This is the output of that chip that has the bad signal on it. See that? So this chip here is going to be bad. If I'm lucky at all, that will fix both of the paddles. But for sure, it's going to affect one of them. So let me replace that chip and I'll be back. Okay, so I replaced that 7400. That's a quad NAND gate chip. And that did fix the paddles. So the paddles are now 100%. There's a little bit of jitter in this one, but that's not a board problem. That's a problem with the controller. I've noticed the controller's getting flaky. This other controller, though, is working fine. So the paddles are fixed. Let's see what happens if we start a game now, if we serve the ball. All right, so, yeah, no ball, and the scoring is not right, and it's only incrementing. Let's see if I can do something about that light. So this score is incrementing, and the score is messed up, and there's no ball. So we've got gameplay problems. But the controller part looks good, and we still have the audio hum. All right, I'm going to keep probing around, see if I can figure out the next problem. Okay, so I was curious about the ball counter, the X and the Y ball counter. So in other words, the ball position counters. And there are some 9316s here, and it looks like these are associated with the horizontal position of the ball. And since the ball is not showing up on the screen at all, I thought it might be a good idea to look around in this area for a bad chip. Well, I found a chip here. This is another 7400 quad NAND gate. Same exact type one that I just replaced, and it has a bad output on it as well. So I'm going to replace that and see if that doesn't fix the game being able to be played. In other words, the ball movement. I think this may be associated with that. So let me replace that and let's see what happens. Okay, so I've changed this chip out and the output looks good now, but look what happened to the screen. The ball, if you recall in the previous with the previous chip, the ball was going across and it was bouncing off the top walls, but not bouncing off this left wall. The ball would just keep bouncing that direction. It would never detect the wall over here and bounce back. Now the ball is still going up and down at a constant rate, but the horizontal movement is different. So that chip was definitely bad, but there's something else wrong. Something that probably knocked out that one output. So it's detecting a wall hit all the time in the horizontal direction. So I got to try to figure that out. Let me probe around in this area where that chip was. Maybe there's another chip related to the wall detection, and maybe it will have an obvious fault. Okay, I searched around for a problem with the ball counter because I thought maybe that would have something to do with the ball going back and forth, but I didn't find anything that was definitive. I did replace a couple chips just to try to because the outputs look weird, and to try to just shotgun it. But both the chips, let's see, I think I replaced this one and this one, I think. And both of those were made no difference. So I probed around some more, focusing on the audio this time. And this chip here, I think, is bad. This is what generates the audio pulse, and the signal looks really strange. So I'm going to try replacing this. It's another one of those 7400s, which I think we found 2 bad ones so far on this board. So let me try replacing that, and let's see if that fixes the audio, and maybe consequently that'll fix the other problems. Okay, so I've replaced that chip there. That did fix the audio, and it also fixed the entire game. Beautiful. So I've played tested it. Audio's working, controls are working, boundaries are working. Balls bouncing off the walls, bouncing off the paddles. Audio's working. Scoring is perfect too. Here's the other controller. So that's it. This will play to 11 or until the timer runs out. So I'm gonna call the game repaired, but I want to study that timer. I want to see if one of these unused pins on the connector, if it controls that timer to where you can turn it on and off. Like if you wanted to have an unlimited time game, if that's even an option. So I'm going to study that. If I figure it out, I'll come back with an extension. Otherwise, that's the end of this video, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Okay, so there's no way to defeat the timer on this short of removing a component. If you remove this potentiometer, that should do it. So basically, this is just using this capacitor as an RC time constant on this 555 timer. Now I've got the probe on the output of that, so if I start a game, the voltage on that timer starts low, but as time passes you'll notice that creeps up, and then once that voltage reaches a TTL high value, which is like 1.8 volts or something, then it'll reset the circuit and the game's over. So you see it's crawling up, if you can see that, very, very slowly. I've got the potentiometer set at the fastest time right now, the shortest amount of time for it to shut the game off. But yep, as time passes, that voltage increases slowly and slowly. But there is no jumper, there is no switch, there is no anything on the connector that would stop this. If you want this to play indefinitely, you've got to remove either a resistor or the potentiometer or even the capacitor. Well, no, not the capacitor. That would make it go too fast. Leave the capacitor alone. Remove the potentiometer, or there's an inline resistor that you could remove. Either one of those should turn it off. Now see how it dropped back down to low? That reset the circuit, and now the game is in game over mode now. So that's what we know about the timer. It's just a simple RC time constant through a 555 timer.